Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Vinland Saga. Last time around we had Miscalculation, where basically Thorfinn was... he's having a rough time. He beat up some guys, was thrown in jail. Leif came to see him and was like, yo, I know, but hey, how about we go home and then we go find Vinland? And that caught Thorfinn's attention. Meanwhile, the Imperial Council was being set, and the king was like, yo, we're going to go to Ireland, but first, we're going to go to Wales. And this was a surprise, a shock to Askeladd, and we're not really sure how they know about Wales. Do they know about Wales? Do they understand? They know that there is some connection between him and Wales, but I don't know. It's interesting, isn't it? So now there are problems. Now Askeladd has until spring before the Danes march on Wales. So he has to figure something out in order to save his country, basically. And that was pretty much where we left off. This is the season finale. Isn't that crazy? I'm so curious where we're going and how this is going to lead into season 2. But like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So why don't we just go ahead and jump right into this episode of Vinland Saga. Here we go. Well, that's the end of the prologue. The balls that this episode has to be titled End of the Prologue 24 episodes into the story is ridiculous. That's the end of Askeladd. And now it's time for the story of Thorfinn. I know you think we've been watching the story of Thorfinn for 24 episodes, but nope. That was all just the prelude. That was the foreword, that was chapter 0. Next time, chapter 1. That was just the story of Askeladd. So that's it. So, alright. I'm gonna be honest. Last episode when I was looking up the king, I'm gonna be honest that I did see on the fucking Wikipedia page when he died, and I thought, well, that doesn't mean he's gonna die in the episode, and I certainly didn't think that Askeladd was gonna be the one to kill him. February 3rd, 1014. I won't look at anything about, I don't know, about him, about, like... Okay, here's what I want to look up. Does it say how he died? It doesn't say how he died. Some theorize that he was killed, whereas other sources say he died after falling off of a horse. His embalmed body was returned to Denmark for burial in the church he had built. Tradition locates his church in Roskilde, but it is more plausible that he is actually located in Lund in Scania, now part of Sweden. Wow, they just don't know. He began to organize his vast new kingdom, but died February 3rd, 1014. Wow. I wish it showed, like, there's no in popular culture section like a lot of, like, some pages have. So, I gotta say, that's pretty genius. That's pretty genius to make this plot work, because it's like, oh, nobody knows how the king died, Nobody knows how the king died, so he could have been killed. So, technically, it's not untrue what we're seeing. Askeladd sacrificed himself. He sacrificed himself to save both Wales and Canute. I mean, there's no way that the king would have... there's no way the king would have not destroyed Wales, or something to that extent, There's no reason. So the only way to actually save Wales was to do that. And that's the thing. Did he think that? Did he think of everything? Because, Canute said once he put the crown on, he was like, we're not going to invade Wales. We're not going to invade Wales because now, there will be English revolt now that the king is dead. So we need to shore up, we need to shore up the kingdom. So now the thing is, there's still a problem of Harold. See, I don't know where we're going now. I don't know where we're going now, because it's like... Because Canute can't take Thorfinn back. Man, why can't you believe in Tumblr boyfriends? Man, top 10 anime betrayals. Okay, so we have the Imperial Council, and they have all now bowed before Canute. If he has them and Thorkel, can Harold even do anything? I don't know. There is going to be, a war of succession between Canute and Harold, but I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go. But again, it's like the reason we have followed all of these events is because Thorfinn was there. He wasn't a part of it. Thorfinn was not a part of any of this, but he was there. Thus, we were justified in watching these events take place because our main character was there. If our main character is not a part of this anymore, where does the story go? I don't know. I'm trying to think of, what are other characters like Asklid, Just this sort of wily, clever kind of character, Where even though he's not, the center of the... it's hard to say that he's not the center of the story. He was, but, technically, Asklid is not the main character. So I'm trying to think of, a character like him in other anime. The closest I can think is, not even really Levi in Attack on Titan, more like Erwin. Erwin. He's probably the closest. I don't know. What others are there? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing. I can't think of... It's hard to think of a character like Asklid, In that way, I guess he's almost one of a kind, And it's so interesting because the first 4 episodes, you're so endeared to Thor's. You're following him, basically. Honestly, Thorfinn has never been the main character, Because the first 4 episodes really are about Thor's, And then it shifted to be about Asklid. But it's so interesting because for how amazing of a character Thor's is, to have the show switch focus to the guy that killed him is so interesting. But since the beginning, Asklid has been interesting. His fight with Thor's was really fascinating to watch, even though you could say, he cheated and had the archers, kill Thor's and stuff like that. It's at the same time, there was a level of respect between Thor's and Asklid, That's another thing of, why Asklid was pretty much hired to kill Thor's in the first place, Because that's the thing, he was hired to kill Thor's by Floki. Floki, can we just say, is a bitch? Can we just say that Floki sucks? Floki, he shows up, he is intimidating, he's he's another Viking, he could be as powerful as Thor's. And then he hires someone else to kill Thor's, and then proceeds to not do anything until this episode, when Asklid could still beat him. I'm fully convinced Asklid could have taken him in a one-on-one fight, This is Asklid, who has been previously injured, you know? He has been recently injured by arrows. He's exhausted from taking on that many men, and he still was able to beat Floki, you know? The only reason he went down is because Thorfinn actually gave Canute enough of an opening. But where do we go now? Where do we go now? Someone play Guns N' Roses. Where do we go now? Do we follow Canute? Do we follow Canute and Thorkel? Like, I cannot see... I don't know. I don't know. I can't see him... Like, you can't keep Thorfinn around, you know? After what he did. Like, if he hadn't attacked Canute, then he could have stayed around, but, like... What do we do now? Well, Wales is saved. Thank goodness. See, this, unlike the last episode of Doctor Who I watched, which was 73 yards, this has a positive light on Wales. Nah, this is fine. But that is the end of Askeladd. What a fascinating, brilliant character he is. And I like, just at the end, just forget about him, Thorfinn. Just move forward already. Forget about it. Be a true warrior. Go do what Thor's wanted to do. It's gonna be hard for Thorfinn to get that in, to get that lesson under his noggin. Man, if we didn't think he was going through a character arc already, this pretty much cemented it. Like, literally, he tried one last time, but now it's like, okay, he has to change now. Thorfinn has to change because Askeladd is dead. There's no more duel. There's no more chance. It's gone now. What can he do? What can he do? I don't know. See, I feel like we've talked a lot and also not at all about this episode, but I don't know, man. This season was crazy. This season was 10 out of 10. And I know that everyone says that season 2 is better than season 1, but I absolutely love this season. This show is amazing. This, again, like, if you want to take someone who doesn't watch anime and show them anime, I think this is top of the list, you know? It's like this, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, you know, Death Note, I would say. Like, this has to be one of the tops, like, especially, like, if you know someone who doesn't watch anime, but they're way into history, especially this kind of history, I'd say definitely do whatever you can to make sure they watch this, because this is amazing. But that's the end of the prologue. Where do we go from here? Where do we go now? We'll find out. We have an entire other season to get through. And apparently that's not even the end. We'll have another season after that. But that is basically it. With all of that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist with all of my Vinland Saga reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.